Want to hear a horror story?
Yeah.
Tinder date, faked pregnancy for 9 months after one night stand.
Oh, I love this, actually.
Isn't that wild? This is a real horror movie.
Yeah, this is the kind of crazy that only a woman is capable of.
This is,
I mean, quite literally, because you can't just do this.
The type of guy crazy is more like she's just dead.
Yeah, exactly. Stalking you.
I know, right?
Yeah, but like just literally, a guy can't fake pregnancy like this. It just can't be done.
Jamie Atkin vowed to support Tinder date Jacqueline McGowan when she got pregnant after a one-night stand. But it turned out she was a compulsive liar. After a fun day of celebrating, I met Jacqueline at a bar.
Go.
After a drink, we headed back to our hotel room, ended up staying the night. The next morning, we hung out, headed back to where my family was staying. Jacqueline messaged me a few days later asking if I wanted to meet again. Deciding she wasn't the right one for me, I gently let her down. Then 3 weeks later, she sent me a picture of 2 pregnancy tests.
I love how no matter what red flag you could possibly get for a guy, it's like if the chick's like hot enough, you'd be like, yeah, I mean, we'll smash the one time. Like she could give you every fucking red flag in the book, and if she passes the binary test, you go, yeah, well, I mean.
I know, but he only talked to her on Tinder, so maybe he didn't see the flags. But yeah, you're right.
But I'm saying he met in person, obviously, and I'm sure it was Flag City. He was like, I mean, I've even been there where you're like, holy red flags, but let's get this one in.
In my later years, I would say post 30, I've waved off some crazies.
Sure. But I mean, in your 20s, just like, again, that's the toxins, the testosterone toxins run through your body. You're like, yeah, I mean, I'd be dumb not to. I'm here. I made it like, it's like running a race. You made it 90% of the way. You go,
yeah.
What, I'm not finishing the race?
I know. I've definitely done that. And I've also had crazies give me a pregnancy scare that was fake, by the way.
I've never had a fake pregnancy scare.
Really? I've had multiple.
Never, somehow. I've had some crazies, but never fake pregnancy.
Dude, I've had multiple chicks message me and be like, hey, I think I'm pregnant. I haven't got my period, this and that and this and that. Like, and it was sort of a same situation. Like a girl that I like hung out with like once or twice and then kind of like fell off with. And then like a month later, her like hit me up. Honestly, nothing drops your heart more where you're just like, what? You're just like, you go, you're like, you're doing something else and you just like put your phone down and you like just walk around the room and you're just like, okay, let me calm down before I answer this sort of thing.
Yeah.
You're just like,
that stinks. I've never had that. But yeah, I mean, that just does, seeing how that's changed some people's lives that I know, and you're like, yeah,
it's a literal nightmare.
Yeah. I guess the alternative is you're like, well, I guess if you just commit to being a deadbeat dad, but that's not also a good option either.
You can't legally commit to being a deadbeat dad.
Well, at least commit to whatever. You say like, this is just I guess there's the monetary thing for
so what? You're just like,
years.
Well, you go, if you're paying the money, you're just like, okay, so the worst part is that this is going to cost you. It's like, if I'm already doing all that, actual part where the kids
the money
in your life, I don't think I would, like, why would you not want to do that?
I guess.
If you have a kid,
I guess a lot of
the
guys,
only way is if you live in a different city. Like if I had a kid and I was like, they live in Canada, you have like a bit of an issue where like, yeah, you try to go back and see them all the time. It's like, what do you move? Like,
yeah,
I guess. So.
I mean, I would imagine that
if you have enough money, you go, I'm moving you guys down here or something.
Yeah, there must be some scenarios though for guys who just out of like principle because they want the woman to get an abortion and she won't. When you're like, well, if you're not gonna get the abortion, then I'm not. You know, like
but what's the kid? The kid's not the kid's fault.
Yeah, it's not the kid's fault. No. It's
but you go.
I don't agree with that.
Yeah, but I know. But I'm saying that like, there's nothing you can do about it once it's over. It's like that's the chess game. It's like, yeah, I get saying that, but once there is a kid, you can't like.
Yeah.
You know the chess thing where it's like you're pretending you're like playing 4 moves back.
Uh-huh.
It's like once you already lost that one. That's over.
Yeah, you just got your king snatched.
You're already paying the money. Woo! Wait.
Yeah, thankfully never had that.
Well, thankfully, these were just psychos lying to me, like in this situation. Every step of this is a nightmare for this guy, though. So she goes, don't freak out, she said. This is my problem, not yours, and I'll handle it, she wrote. And you just be like, I'll
handle it.
Yeah, you go. Yeah, well, unfortunately, we live in a society with laws, and it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, and that's not reassuring when some chick goes, don't freak out, I'll handle it.
So crazy because the girl's being like, don't worry, it's not your problem, mine. It was like, well, is it my problem legally?
Yeah.
Wow. I was worried and I wanted to help. I'll be there to support you, I told her. After a few weeks back and forth, we agreed on a 50-50 arrangement once the baby arrived. So this guy's...
I don't understand. So what happened from like I understand when she goes, "Don't freak out, I'll handle this."
Well, what happened
that means
was
abortion.
because she wanted this guy to be back in her life or whatever, and she's using this like fake pregnancy,
of course,
to kind of, which is like a move that this is a big move.
But I guess I would, if I were the guy, I'd be like, "So what happened to the whole like, don't freak out, I'll handle this part of the conversation?"
Well, he said no. He's no, it's not going to shake down like that.
Shake down like what?
Well, the girl said to him that, and then he said, no.
He goes, keep it.
No, she didn't mean handle it.
Oh, I thought it meant handle it like, I read handle it as as having an abortion.
I don't think that's what she meant. I think
she's like, I'll handle it. Like, don't worry, I'll just like raise the kid.
Yeah.
Crazy. So we had a one night stand 3 weeks ago having a fucking abortion. I guess for some people don't have abortions. But like the type of person who has one night stands you think would be like Venn diagram.
Yeah,
pretty
that's
good
a good point.
overlap of like one night stands with some rando on Tinder.
I think
having abortions.
Most people that are like super against abortion probably aren't having random like no condom one night stands from Tinder. Yeah, you're right. A Venn diagram wise, yeah.
I don't know.
Agreed. I wanted to meet her in person to discuss things, but every time I suggested, she refused. And she kept sending pictures, but she didn't want to meet. And then when Jacqueline sent me her first scan, I got excited. So this guy started getting pumped about being a dad.
Yeah, that's cool.
Still refusing to meet me in person, despite... This is like the ultimate bad scenario that if there's like 3 or 4 ways your life can go really, really wrong. Marrying the wrong person, having a kid with the really wrong person, and maybe like getting like a real life-threatening illness.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But those
are the only ones that like can
hands.
Really fuck your life up on like a massive
life-threatening
scale.
illness. Oh, it's not up to you. These ones you can somewhat mitigate.
Well, it can be smoking.
Yeah, that's true.
Still refusing to meet me in person despite living under 10 kilometers away from each other. Jacqueline and I only communicated through messaging. A few weeks later, Mum rang. And Jacqueline had started messaging her on Facebook. So now she starts messaging his mom. And she's messaging his mom saying that that he's not helping. So his mom's calling and being like, hey, you got this girl pregnant? And she's saying that you're not going to help.
And he's like, I'm trying.
She won't even meet me. She tracked down his brother and started messaging his brother. This is where you start being like, yo, this sounds like a scene from a horror movie. Yeah, your brother's getting involved.
Chick stinks.
You go to your family gathering, she's just there.
Oh, and the fake fucking sonograms. That's so crazy.
So yeah, and so what ended up happening was basically her sister was pregnant because she found this guy went on Facebook and started hitting up other people she knew, and then he found out. A friend of hers, there was a mutual friend, hit up the mutual friend, and the friend of hers, because she had a separate Facebook account that he didn't know about, and apparently her sister was pregnant, so she had pictures of the sister that was pregnant, and she was using a fake bump to take the photos to send to him.
Crazy. I love how his photos are all in this article, but hers are not.
I know. Well, it's his. Can't post her photos without consent.
Well, there's a photo of her leaving the court, but her face is covered.
What happened in court?
Well, keep reading.
My parents took me to the police officers, and we went to her house where she confessed to lying about the whole thing. She'd bought a prosthetic bump to wear for photos, even putting it on when she went to see my brother. And the scans she'd sent were his sister's, meaning the surname was on them. But I didn't see the court thing. What happened next?
It says in October 2020, police charged Jacqueline McGowan, 36. She pleaded guilty to causing fear and alarm by stalking and was sentenced to 150 hours of community service. This is a win for the boys.
Wow, I didn't see that last part.
Yeah. So she was facing jail time.
Yo, how good is that? The girls can go to jail for causing fear and alarm?
I mean, honestly, if there's any sort of fucking justice in this world for what they put her through, you're saying yourself.
For 9 months.
For 9 months, it's like this crazy. It's like a lot of guys worst nightmare, and then you're like,
if this guy was thinking about moving, anything he can't, he's like changing his whole life's plans.
Like you basically gave him a 9-month prison sentence while he was dealing with this nonsense.
And he didn't know when it was going to end.
Yeah, it could have potentially been an extra 18 years, and I don't know. It's like scam kind of.
That's a good article to have anytime a girl sends you something. You go, just so you know, and send her this article.
You send her this article, and then you send her the scene from Gone Girl with the bottle.
And just be like, if you're causing fear and alarm, tell me right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to the police because you're causing fear and alarm.
Yeah, literally this and the scene from Gone Girl. I watched Gone Girl with a girlfriend, and I remember being like, I think we might have to.
What scene?
With the bottle. Have you seen? Gone
Yeah, I remember.
Remember when she fucking gives it to herself with the wine bottle to make it seem like he raped her?
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah,
and she's just like
yeah,
dead eyes
it.
in front of the mirror. And I was like watching that with her. I was like, holy shit. Every dude is like looking at his girlfriend being like, no, that's not you though, right? You wouldn't do that to me, would you?
That's Affleck, right?
That was Affleck. Yeah, great movie. But you're like, oh, well, that showed like, that did not do women any service.
Definitely caused fear.
That was like the pre-Me Too where you could just like be like, yeah, women are fucking psychos, huh? Wow. Look at what they're capable of.
Fear and alarm.
Fear and alarm, yeah, causing fear and alarm.
I'm loving the idea that it's illegal to cause fear and alarm. Fauci should get fucking jail time, 150 hours community service.
Minimum.
Musk is trying to fucking, he's big on that, and he got booed too.
I saw that he got booed.
What'd you think about him getting booed?
People don't like billionaires. I don't know.
That was my.
I would have thought that the overlap for Chappelle is because Chappelle's like a bit of like an iconoclast kind of dude like that his fans would like Musk, but I guess Musk is.
I think it was what you just said though. It wasn't that they were like hating him on some political like right left thing. They were hating him on like hating billionaires.
I guess, but it's also
because a lot of people still have that where they just hate billionaires.
But that was in San Francisco where maybe they do like billionaires. Maybe it was just like
no, I don't think they do.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the temperature is.
They weren't booing him on his like taking over Twitter. They were probably booing him on like being a billionaire.
Yeah, but I feel like in Silicon Valley, maybe.
But like Chappelle likes Bernie Sanders though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Chappelle fans and Bernie Sanders fans probably have a lot of overlap. They're just not like PC.
I mean, I've been loving all the shit Elon's doing with Twitter.
What's he doing now?
Got rid of the bots.
Yeah. Did you find that there's less bots?
I've never been. Actually, you know what? My DMs, the bots have kind of subsided quite a bit recently. And he said he did a test the other day where he's like, everybody try and see if there's bots and tweet all the shit that'll get bots. Apparently, like they've got rid of like boom. He's been there for a month and a half, and 90% of the bots gone.
That's good.
Like my DMs,
YouTube and Instagram are pretty bot heavy right now.
Yeah, my live streams, not too bad, but the live streams will get like the sex bots and stuff. Instagram bad for sure, but Twitter, like I don't get any of the crypto DMs anymore. And there was a point where I was getting like 10 or 20 a day.
Yeah,
just like these random like NFT DMs.
Yeah, I get a lot of that too. You know what else I get? A lot of Asian girl with like 4 followers with just like a hi.
Yeah, a lot of that stuff's gone though.
Your profile is very interesting. We should get to know each other.
Yeah.
The funniest one, like it's so crazy to fall for because I feel like I could do a better job of writing those. Like where instead of making it like super formal like that, be like, what's up? Like even just that, be like,
what's up?
Yo, what's up?
It's because it's coming from people whose language is not English.
The people do. They're probably using a translator app.
The biggest giveaway for any sort of scam, spam, anything is if they say hi, dear.
Okay.
It's dear. It's like you'll see if you see a lot of that stuff, they'll be like, hello, dear. Hi, dear. Anytime they use dear, you're like, that's a scam.
Hi, period.
Hi, period. Yeah. But dear is like the one.
I mean, the biggest scam is that they have, 2 followers. You know what I mean?
And also just like, I don't know.
They've tweeted 9 times.
Yeah, exactly. And they just got on Twitter like a week
at 30,
ago.
Yeah.
They're just like hitting you up.
Yeah, they're bad at these scams, but they must work.
Of course they do, because it's just a numbers game.
It's all
like you go, oh, who would fall for this? And you're like, yeah, the 1% of all the people we send it to, the dumbest 1%.
Well, I had the one buddy that fell for the bought something online, and then they said that if we accidentally overpaid on you, we accidentally screwed up your credit card, so you need to send us back some of the money.
Yeah,
and then some person sent money back, like a check to this person for like $1,000,
and then because you think that the money's in your account.
We like over refunded you. That's what it said.
Then the refund doesn't go through, but it's like there's a few day period where it probably does show up in your account, and then you get like the charge back after you've sent the check.
Yeah, they said we over refunded you.
I mean, scamming is $billion business, multi-billion-dollar business.
Yeah, I guess so. Back in the day, though, you could have brought this girl on Maury Povich. That's the other thing.
Yeah, there's no recourse for that anymore, right?
Oh, around 9 months, she had a photo of her just holding the newborn. And
but whose newborn?
It was her sister's newborn.
It's crazy.
The fact that the police got involved is huge.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, there's probably a lot of guys who would go like full, just like head in the sand, not ostrich. What is flamingo? You put your head in the sand, you know, like, you're like, I'm just not dealing with this. And then it like would just go away.
Mm-hmm.
Like this has to just like, it would just be like, oh, this kind of just went away.
It did, yeah, because you go, if you literally said that and then you just like 10 years later, you go, what happened to that kid that I had?
Yeah, you go like, whatever happened? She never really hit me up.
You just blocked her number and never heard about it again. But you'd be living your life in fear, so that would have been the wrong move.
Right.
Unless you're not the type of guy that lives in fear.
But with the way the psychotic way she was going, you'd have like, I guess after a year, you'd be like, okay, something's fishy here. Unless they're dead or something.